UGD coming at you with my latest 22 Kimber Rimfire Target, and this is not a used gun dude kind of gun. I mean, this is a high-end 22 long rifle, and I would never be a buyer on these things. I mean, you're seeing these things new in the $700, $800, $900 range at the gun stores. Used on Gun Broker, they're still bringing $650, $700. Way out of my price range. Gentleman had one of these listed on the Armslist, and it wasn't too far off from me thinking, I got to take a run at that thing. Emailed back and forth, and we ended up on a number. And I'll tell you what, I'm into it for about $400, which still feels a little bit insane for a 22 pistol. But if you're not familiar with Kimber, these are one of the best built guns in the world. I mean, they have a reputation for their 1911s. It's just top shelf. And having shot them in the past, respect the build quality. I know the Kimber fanboys are as radical as Glock guys. And they have reason to be. I mean, they do make a fine, fine firearm. And when he handed me this, the fit, the finish was just absolutely gorgeous. And I fell in love with it and felt like I've got to come home with this hot rod. To give you a little bit of specs on this from Kimber, it is a full-size 5-inch barrel, 22 long rifle, comes in at 25 ounces. And that's the thing that you first notice when you pick it up. It's not the typical 4.5, 10-pound 1911 steel frame. It's actually a very light gun. And I think that's excellent. I think that's something that my guys are going to enjoy shooting. My young boys are going to enjoy shooting, and part of the consideration when I bought this pistol. This gun is used. I'm out the door with it right now at $400, not with the one mag, not with two, but even got a third mag with this thing. So again, I'm feeling like I'm doing pretty good on this hot rod. And the impression that you get when you first look at it, you just know you're holding something that's really well built. And to tell you, you got an aluminum slide and an aluminum frame, and that's where the weight comes in. But these are steel target sights, and these sights are just, this rear sight is just fantastic. I mean, full adjustment. The front blade is a huge front blade. And if you look at it, I mean, it just fits the window. I'm going to try to get there. Look how tight that window it is. It fits in that thing. I mean, it just fills the rear notch. I mean, just absolutely perfect for a target sight. The skeleton hammer, steel, trigger steel. Steel controls on the side, mag release is steel. But here's something that's kind of funny. Polymer magazines. Yeah, polymer. And when I first pulled it out, I was like, boy, that's kind of chintzy for a Kimber to go with a polymer. But I tell you what, there's no creaks. You can't bend these things. These are solid polymer magazines. No excuses for the magazines. I mean, they're just really, really, really well built. So a little bit of surprise when I first took the magazine out that it had a polymer magazine, but once you start doing a little closer inspection, you realize it's a Kimber polymer. So probably not going to go wrong. Let's go ahead and take this gun apart, get you a little peek inside of this hot rod. You kind of see what we got going on here. As I'm rolling in the close-ups, because it always takes me a second to take apart a 1911 because they're so complicated. And this is where the Kimber really, really shines in their manufacturing. I mean, just look at the quality of this thing. I mean, it's just outstanding. And it's got a very unique system. I mean, it takes apart just like any typical 1911. So your strip is, very familiar when you first do it, except here you go, big old long spring coming out. Got a little rod here. Switch it around and your bushing comes right on out. And then the barrel slides out just like a 1911. And if you could make a better barrel, I don't know who could do it. I mean, this thing is absolutely incredible. And the weight of the gun is right there. And it is just stainless steel gorgeousness. I mean, it is just a beauty. The ejector, look at that. The ejector's built into the barrel. A really unique design. And if you look at the finish on these parts and the machine work that's gone into these things, I mean, these things are just an excellent, excellent machine work on these. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I get where Kimber guys get excited about them. I mean, this thing is over the top built, insanely built. And as I put this thing back together, I'm going to roll in some still shots of it because I'm sure this is going to be ridiculous, me trying to put this thing back together smoothly for the camera. Some of the impressions that I had, when I first looked at it, it's got this matte finish to it that's very, very smooth, kind of a unique feel to it. A smooth matte finish. The overall fit of it, slide and rails, just excellent. No wobble, no play. I mean, just really a fine, fine feeling gun. And it's very familiar to take apart, field strip, and look at it. It's a 1911 in a lot of respects, but shoots 22 caliber. Now, this is going to go to the range, and I have read on the forums, these are finicky when it comes to ammo. The guys have reported the best success they've had with this gun is with the CCI 40 grain mini mags. Got 400 rounds of that ordered coming in to go to the range with. Also going to shoot some CCI Stinger. And I'm going to roll that box out when I get to the range. You're going to love it because it's the older box and just too cool. And then we're going to run some Federal bulk garbage ammo through it and see what it does. When this does go to the range, we're going to try to shoot some steel with it, shoot some paper, see how accurate this thing can be at 10, 15, 25 yards, and see what we got here. And then an idea that I've had is I'm going to go ahead and expand this a little bit, and let's take a $500-600 Kimber 22 and start putting it up against some of the other 22s. So I'm going to be in the market for some other 22 long rifle pistols, particularly going to look for ones that are the 1911 style, like the GSGs, possibly the SIG, and then I also like to get a Beretta. And we're going to do a multi-part with this Kimber and really see if spending the extra money that's obviously high quality, is it worth spending the extra money? Are you getting increased accuracy? Are you getting increased reliability? I don't know. Now, if this gun does run, if I can find ammo that this gun will run well, it's one of the few guns that will probably stay in the stable. It will be a family heirloom one of these days. Because really, you pick it up and it is just fantastic. So this is UGD, giving you a little introduction to the latest acquisition, the Kimber Rimfire Target. And just getting all kinds of excited. I can't wait to hit the range with that. And by the way, over Black Friday, the ranges were full. I had a bag full of guns and couldn't get on the range to shoot. It was ridiculous. But we'll get this out there. Hey, if you liked the video, pound that like button. Subscribe and check out my other videos. If you disliked it because you thought, well, Kimbers are garbage or I'm garbage, hit the dislike. This is UGD.